Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dror, and I would like to present to you LegalDrop, the marketplace that makes it easy and simple to be matched with a lawyer. Now, we all, and always will, need legal assistance, whether as individuals or as businesses. The difficulty is knowing how to describe exactly what we need, and also who to get it from. In many cases, this leads to avoidance, which puts us at risk, and also causes loss of revenue for lawyers, estimated at $6 billion in the UK alone and $120 billion globally every year. So, how do you build a marketplace for personalized and tailor-made services? Well, we start by dividing the most common legal needs into categories, and then subcategories, and then sub-subcategories. We then create a legal service package to match those needs, and we then assign lawyers to serve those service packages after we vetted them in advance. Finally, we monitor the progress of delivering that legal services until completion. We started by nurturing two databases. First, the pack of legal service packages. So we see that the most common legal needs that people come to us with, and we optimize them so that they come across as the solution that the clients actually want, and a growing roster of vetted lawyers. The operational process then leaves both customers and lawyers empowered and in control, and of course we monetize mostly through commission fees from the transactions, but some countries and some regulators don't allow fee sharing, in which case we come to the subscription. In terms of the existing players in the market, we categorize them roughly into two groups. We've got the do-it-yourself platforms. Don't know about you, I don't want to do my own legals. Thank you very much. And we also have the opaque marketplaces or classifieds that help you find someone, but then once you go offline, that's where the friction really comes in. What does the process look like, and so on. Either option doesn't really give us the experience that we want. Whereas what we do is we make it easy for customers to first understand how to communicate their problem, second, feel that they are in safe hands, and of course more work for the lawyers, so it's really a win-win. Now, every year, about $850 billion pounds is spent on legal services, roughly divided into 50-50 between enterprise and consumers, individuals, or B2C, we call it. SMBs or SMEs is a very, very small portion of the enterprise side of the market. We still started with SMBs because from a regulatory perspective, it's much more welcoming environment. Regulators very much encourage more liquidity in the marketplace. And given the fact that nobody's ever productized legal services on the marketplace before, I wanted to start without pissing off the regulators. But we've already started now getting into B2C very recently, and so far feedback is quite positive. So where we are to date, where we've got happy lawyers that are staying on the platform. In fact, they're recommending their peers to join as long as they don't practice the same practice area. We've got customers and clients that come back for more, so we tested the market, and the market is basically telling us that they like what it is we're doing, right? The idea of a broker for legal services is accepted in the market. I now have proof positive of that. Thing is that, and we also have a smooth running operational process of how to fulfill everything, which the regulators are okay with, so we can start scaling. And we've recently also filed a patent to capture and protect the IP. Now, the current platform is an operational MVP, and although transactional and proper end-to-end transactions could happen on the platform, it still operates more like a classified platform, i.e. people see the pre-packaged service, they see the price, it gives them the confidence to reach out to the lawyer, but at that point it goes off platform. So the next round or this fundraising is to enable us to build the tech to allow for the next stage, which is to support the action process, which I can actually demo because it's being built as we speak. So if anybody's interested, I can show it to you. So in terms of the markets, we've got two main categories. We've got those who know they need legal services, looking and ready to buy. And if they're looking, we can find them. So PPC, SEO. The other category, much larger, not looking. This is more interesting, more expensive to attract. We're starting to do, we talked earlier about community groups on Discord and Metaverse. People are looking, but they're just not officially looking. Running out of time, move quickly. Of course, nurturing the team. Earlier this year, Mel, CMO, joined. Inquiries started to go up. 30 years experience. David Lane, CTO, 20 years experience building marketplaces and gamifications. And that is more, no, the ask, Must not forget the ask.
And your time is up.
And my time is up. Oh my goodness.
But the good news is you left the slide up there.
Okay. Thank you, and so
it helps. Okay, thank you. Okay. Can you leave the slide up? Thank you. Okay. You don't get to move them. Just leave that one up. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Who's going first?
I'll go.
Yep.
Well, first of all, thank you. And the first comment, you need to practice the presentation and make sure that you get until the end. Because if not, it's very difficult for us to understand what your business is about and what are you asking for, and the economics also, metrics. So there's kind of, the feeling is like I need to talk to you later for a bit to totally understand what your business is about. That's the first thought, and then I think it was you that said that you didn't want to piss off the regulators. How this is yeah, for me, I don't totally understand what it means by that. Can you give us a little bit more on that? Absolutely. And how local is that? I mean, the regulators and what are your markets to understand what you mean by that?
Absolutely. So firstly, sorry about the timing. I did practice, but the nerves got the best of me. Okay, regulators are here to protect both the end user, the little person, but also the lawyers themselves. They want to make sure that nobody is being abused or unfairly treated. But because regulation is so complex, we end up being in a situation whereby access to law, access to justice is a real big problem. And so the competition market authorities globally, not just in the UK, want to reintroduce liquidity into the market. So marketplaces is the solution. However, the regulators are struggling because finance, if we didn't incorporate escrow into the APIs, you can't, so money has to be paid from the client to the lawyer without going through a third party. So we're the first ones really introducing escrow. So that type of thing. Same with KYC. I can make it easy for the customer to go through the whole passport, proof of address, AML, but I'm not allowed to make the decision. It has to be the lawyers. So that's what I mean by the regulators. We're doing everything the regulators want us to do without doing anything the regulators don't want us to do, and nobody has done that before. That's what I meant.
Excellent. Yes, thanks. So you've raised 1 million to date. Where's that got you in terms of how many transactions are you processing on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I heard the feedback you gave earlier about not having the numbers. Others were trying to reduce the, sorry.
Sorry, just to add to that, and then the value of each transaction, just to give us a view. So the number of transactions you do in a month and the value of each one of those.
So where the money got us to date is, this is the third platform. Even though it's an MVP, it's the third version. We tried a Fiverr model, we tried an Upwork model. Didn't really work. This works. So it was spent on a couple of failures. The range of average order values, the smallest one was £100, sending a letter before action to somebody, up until just yesterday, 14 grand a couple of weeks ago. These are the other extremes. An NFT company wanted to apply for FCA regulation. I'd say the average would be between 650 to 850 pounds. Okay. In terms of number of transactions, this has started to increase since the beginning of this year. But I'd say, without rounding the numbers or annualizing just the biggest month, I'd say roughly we're around 15 grand, 20 grand GMV a month.
And what's your take off that?
10% at the moment.
Okay.
Plus, we offload the escrow cost onto the lawyer, so it's like another couple of percent.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so you had some pretty good feedback. First of all, I like what you're trying to do because it's a marketplace in a different area that does need being serviced, does need resolved. I can see myself using this to solve a problem with whatever, something small, something not major, and maybe not business-like. So that it passes for me the sniff test, right? It's like, yeah, I can see there's a natural way of bringing buyers and sellers together. I understand the model, right? Subscription-based model, and you're taking a percentage of the transaction as it goes through, so it means you're getting involved in that. And I understand from the release of the money and so on from that chart. I think that was all very well presented. Where I think you can improve on this is get into some hardcore stats. So every transaction, we're going to take, you know, it's a £750 transaction. We're going to take 10%, so we make £75 per transaction. Plus there's the fee that they pay to be on the platform, blah, 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 right? And this is how our volumes are growing, right? I always like the charts that go bottom left, top right, and it shows, you know, month on month.
I do have one
growth,
of those I can show.
Right? Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, it's at the end of the day. I mean, my advice to everyone who's got a business, no matter how big or small it is always be pitching. Always be pitching. Doesn't matter who it's to. Practice the pitch. Get in front of many people as humanly possible. And it doesn't really matter whether you are at a relatively young age in the startup phase or you've got through to you're running a listed company. I mean, there's Joe who's sitting around here who runs the prop tech group in Australia listed, and he's probably doing, you know, 10 or 20 presentations a month just to investors, just to keep them engaged with what's happening. So you've always got to be pitching, and then through that you'll work out how to reach that level of what people are interested in and what they're not interested in. So more stats. I'd get to the point a bit faster, and I'd up my energy level. All right?
Yeah.
Have a Red Bull before you get up here, right? Or something, right? Because it does come across.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that because remember that when people are investing, they're investing in the person as much as the concept, right? And they want to go, yeah, this guy's on it, right? And he's, my God, I'm gonna if I invest, I'm gonna have to hold on tight. Right, because they're going one direction, and maybe they've got to be. I think was it Microsoft? They said I don't want to have to motivate people. I just want to have to constrain people.
Yeah, you really don't have to motivate me. You're right.
Yeah, that's right. So I like what you're trying to do. I think it's a very interesting business. I think the valuations look fair and reasonable. Okay, I need to get behind the numbers a bit more to understand, but I think it's probably going to solve a problem, and it's transportable to other markets. Right, which I think makes a lot of sense.
I've actually had a couple of pilots with tax accountants as well, also to do with crypto. So everybody starts earning money, but they wanted to pull out when the crash. So you convert it to fiat. All of a sudden, you need tax advice. Nobody knows it, and so we had a couple of transactions with that as well. Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you.